Donald Trump went on the Hugh Hewitt show. He called in and was asked if he'll send the Department of Justice to break up pro-Palestine protests on college campuses. You're going to love his answer.
Turn to anti-Semitism in the United States. Your daughter's Jewish. Some of your grandchildren are Jewish. Your son-in-law is Jewish. Jewish students are not safe on many American campuses. Your alma mater, my alma mater. Biden and Harris have ignored this. I mean, they really have ignored it. If you're president, will you send the DOJ to those campuses, the Office of Civil Rights from the Department of Education, to enforce the law?
100%. I mean, the law is being broken. 100%. You wouldn't think you even have this. Did you ever think 2 years ago, 3 years ago, that you'd ever have this discussion?
No,
it's unbelievable what's happening. And when you see these riots, and you see a lot of people too, but you know, a lot of the people in that, a lot of those people are Jewish people. You know that they're Jewish kids.
Oh yeah, there are some outliers, but mostly Jewish.
There
are some outliers.
I love that shut down Grand Central Terminal.
He just accidentally steps on the whole narrative that they're anti-Semitic protests. Like, he's sympathetic to his point. Yeah, I'd send the DOJ in to break them up. Sure, yeah, no, fuck them. I threatened to deport pro-Palestine protesters, all that. But he's such an oaf. He can't help but just step on it by accident. And you know, another thing is, a lot of those protesters, they're Jews themselves. He's like, and Hugh Hewitt, he can't have that. I mean, there are outliers. I mean, a few of them. Right, yeah. On message, Mr. President. Stay focused.
Oh, yeah, there are some outliers.
But, you know, a lot of the people in that, a lot of those people are Jewish people. You know that. They're Jewish kids.
Oh, yeah, there are some outliers, but mostly Jewish.
We're going to pass the Self-Hating Jew Act of 2025. We're going to deport the Jews who don't like Israel, too.
First thing we're gonna take you in a room, and you're going to have to unzip your fly. We need to see if you're circumcised or not.
Right.
If you're not circumcised, we're going to get you a moil.
Yeah.
We're going to have an official White House Department of Moils.
Are afraid to be overt on places like Harvard and Penn.
That are afraid. Yes, that's true, and they should be afraid. I've never thought I would see this in my life with the campus riots and what they're saying and what they're doing, and they have to put them down quickly. They really have to put them down quickly.
They need federal help, though, and that's the Department of Justice. They need a Department of Justice that will prosecute these people that assault Jewish kids, because assault is. That's real. That's not a protest. Sure. That's not the First Amendment
that's
assault.
Real. That's real. And being...
No, well, first of all, where have the assaults been? There was the one woman that says, where have they been?
They'd be everywhere. I sent you today one of my Zionist listening posts, probably the craziest, who wrote a whole thing about how terrible it was yesterday for the anniversary, Jews being assaulted and spit on and attacked. Where are the videos? Because you know the Zionists would love nothing better than to share those videos.
Exactly.
They just say shit. They just say shit. And they feel no need to prove anything. It's just, and Trump, I thought he's this big champion of free speech. I thought we have to elect Donald Trump to protect our free speech. Come on.
No, it's ridiculous. Look, I mean, his conviction here, look, Trump doesn't really believe.
I wish that were true.
Obviously, I wish it were true. Yeah. He doesn't believe in anything. He believes in pleasing whoever has his ear. He believes in making the person in the room happy. Right. And Hugh Hewitt tease it up for him. Will you send the DOJ to break up these protests? Sure, I will, because he knows that's the answer that he wants to hear. Right. So who has his ear now? Miriam Adelson.
Right.
Miriam Adelson is on Trump's dick like white on rice. She's on Trump's dick like flies on shit. She's on Trump's dick like Laura Loomer on Trump's dick. So, I mean, that is who has his ear right now. She's on Trump's dick
like Russell Brand on Diddy.
Yeah, exactly. That's who has his ear right now. He did another event with her last night, apparently, or the night before. I saw Michael Tracy tweet out a picture of him with her again. Again. She's his side piece now. So that's who has his ear. That's who he's going to cater to. Not to mention the fact that she's writing him 8-figure checks in the campaign. Right. So that's what you're looking at here. That's what you're looking at here. We'll let this finish.
Being assaulted. But let me ask you, Did you ever think you were going to see this? I mean, I thought this was like semi-ancient stuff, from...
No, we had demonstrations in the 70s and the 80s, but nothing like this.
Did you ever think you were going to see this again?
No.
Nothing like this. Yeah, so there you go. There you go. I'll send the DOJ to campus to break that up, to break up the pro-Palestine protest. There's
a one-man ACLU.
Yeah. Look, there's going to be, obviously, this sounds like a cliche, and it is, but it's true. No matter who wins this election, there is going to be challenges and opportunities. The challenges are obvious, right? Both of these candidates are going to be horrible presidents, so that the challenges that come with that they pretty much explain themselves. The opportunities are both of these candidates are so bad that I don't think either of their movements can afford the reputational damage of losing to the other one, right? So if Trump wins, there's going to be another opportunity to sort of coalesce the anti-Trump left and say, look, you guys have had your hair on fire about Trump for 8 years. Clearly what you're doing is not working. We're going to have a huddle and work out where we go from here. And you're going to have to join us. You have no choice. He's president again after everything you did to him, after the Russiagate, after the lawfare, after the January 6th, after the two near misses, shall we say. He's president again, so you guys have clearly failed. This whole Mick resistance thing is a failure. On the flip side, if Kamala wins, you're going to have to go to MAGA and say, listen, you guys got to give us the ball. You're done. You're done. This will be 4 election losses in a row, 2018, 2020, 2022, and now this. And yes, I do count 2022 as a loss for MAGA, not the Republican Party, but for MAGA. With the sole exception of J.D. Vance, every one of the Trump MAGA candidates shit the bed in very winnable races. Right. So you're going to have an opportunity if Kamala wins to go and say, listen, there are certain things that we sort of align with you on, kind of vaguely, in terms of like anti-censorship on some scores. I think it's been funneled into the Trump campaign, which is a dead end. But broadly speaking, I think, the MAGA people are more against censorship, more against, deep state, shadowy business.
The liberals emphatically are pro-censorship.
They emphatically support
They are literally for censorship.
Right. So you'll be able to go up to some of these MAGA people and just say, listen, what you're doing has clearly failed because look who you just lost to. How do you lose the presidency to Kamala Harris and sustain yourself as a movement? I don't think you do. So wherever this goes, there's going to be challenges, but there's going to be opportunities. What I'm saying is you're going to be able to cast a big net.
They're going to say it was rigged. They're going to say it was rigged.
Some of them, but I think most people, broadly speaking, most people are reasonable enough to say, hey, we lost 4 elections in a row. We lost 4 in a row. That's it. We're out again. The fact that this is, let's say they do think it's rigged. Okay, the fact that it's this close to be riggable is an indictment of your movement. You're talking about Kamala Harris. You're talking about someone who was beyond a joke 1 year ago. You're going to lose the presidency to her? So yeah, there's going to be opportunities to make appeals to the losing side and say, listen, you guys are so on your ass right now. You just lost. Think of how pathetic you are to have lost to Donald Trump, or think of how pathetic you are to have lost to Kamala Harris. Like, there's going to be a lot of egg on a lot of faces, and I think if we cast a broad net, we can try and redefine whatever opposition movement there's going to be, because there's going to have to be a strong opposition movement to either one of these people.
Well, that's what the struggle is going to be.
It's going to be
because both of them, in a lot of respects, represent a non-viable, dead-end political movement. They represent, even though Kamala is younger, she represents the old establishment that is her puppeteer.
Right. And they are both fascists in the sense that they will both use the weight and influence of the government to try and crush opposition.
Right.
Like Kamala Harris will use big tech in the way that they're doing it right now, where channels are disappearing left and right. Donald Trump will use the cops. He just said, I'll use the cops. Yeah. I'll send the feds to the campuses to break up the protesters. Right. So they're both going to try and crush any kind of dissent. And so it's going to take real discipline to be able to mount an opposition to either of these two ghouls who are going to be reigning over us fairly shortly.
Please clap.